In Australia, people say, I always say, what do you think the largest vitamin company is? And they mention a few names, like Centrum and different companies. And then I say, well, let me tell you, the second largest is actually Centrum at 1 billion. And then they go, who's the first? Ours is 4 billion. And everybody's shocked. Everyone is shocked. But the reality is we don't advertise on TV. We don't advertise that. The only way we advertise is through word of mouth, through this business. And what is very interesting, do you have lots of commercials also here on TV? Lots of commercials. And sometimes we think, how come everybody has these fixed ideas about products and going to work every day? You know why? That's what we see every day. On TV, we see the advertising. Companies spent millions and millions of dollars in advertising. Isn't that right? How to make us want to buy that toothpaste. So here we have a business where, we can use our own products. And the very first month that I joined the business, I remember I took all the Brand X products and I put them in a box, put them in the garage, and I just went to the Amway catalogue and I just went through the catalogue and I ordered everything. Why did I do that? After I came back from that weekend seminar, I decided that I was going to be a business owner. And if I'm in business, I want to be using my own product. I didn't think about, I wonder if I like that cream or not, or wonder if I just bought everything. And once you make those decisions, all of a sudden you start to end up with business income rather than hobby income. Does that make sense? So today is really not to convince you about the business. Today is really just to give you an overview and a thought that, yes, there is more to this. It's not just a business where you sell products. It's a business where you develop a wholesale distribution network. You show 10 people, they show 10, all of a sudden you have 100 people in your network. Out of the 100 people in your network, people are obviously going to buy at their own product because we're getting it for 30% off. So we're getting a discount. Does that make sense? So we have a self-consumption turnover, and along the way we also develop some clients because not everybody says yes. So, in the end, because we've got such great products and it's repeat business, the business every month just keeps repeating. Isn't that fantastic? That's the best business to be in. If you're in a computer business, you've got to, they come out lots too, don't they? We've got the iPad 1, now the iPad 2, and there's probably got 10 already in the works, and they're releasing it very slowly, so we just buy one, and it gets upgraded every time. But, we're in the best type of business we can be in, because we've got the backing of the Amway Corporation. I just want to use the slide projectors, if we can have my slides up, please. One of the mistakes, here's a simple question now. If you've had the answer to this, please don't say it. If you're new and this is the first time you've seen this, have a little think about your response. We always talk about exponential growth, don't we? Our business grows exponentially. And here's a very good example. What would you prefer, $100,000 right now or 1 cent that doubles every day for 30 days? 1 little cent that doubles every day for 30 days. Now, most people in the workforce, they choose the 100,000 because they want to get paid now. They want to go to work, get paid $1 now. Go to work, get paid now. Go to work, get paid now. And the biggest challenge we have in this business is changing people's mindset to think like business owners. Does that make sense? So we've got to try and get them to realise that it's delayed gratification. You put the work in and you set up a consumer pipeline, and then the products goes through the business. People often think you just sell the product. Most friends, if you went out into Singapore now and you interviewed people and you said, how would you set up an Amway business? They would say, it's products, right? And you go, yes. And they go, oh, okay, well, you hand out catalogues? Isn't that how you do it? People that know me sometimes say, wow, you must have a lot of customers. I don't know what they think I do. They don't realise that we set up wholesale distribution networks, and the internet is absolutely perfect for that. So, of course, the answer is, if you choose 1 cent doubled, By day 30, you've got $5,368,709.12. By day 31, you've got $10 million. Isn't that amazing when you think about it? Now, when most people join the Amway business, usually they quit around day 9 when it's $2.56. They go, I'm not making any money yet. So this isn't working. Occasionally, if we can get them to come to a seminar, like a business preview we hold every week, they might come. They might last day, $1,563. And I remember my first bonus check, it was, $20. It wasn't very exciting. So I'm trying to imagine, how could I ever earn, $100,000 a year when I'm only earning this every month? It's hard to imagine, but it grows exponentially. So that's what we try and communicate to people. Anyone ever wondered about this? How does that, wireless technology really work? Can anybody, I'm sure you can explain it here because you're very technical here in Singapore. But, the little birds look very confused sitting on their wireless telegraph poles. So, very confused. And you know what? I don't know how it works. I turn on my laptop and all of a sudden, and now we've got the information in the cloud, right? You can keep your address book and you can keep your files in the cloud. Try explaining that to your grandparents. Just doesn't work very well. So we've got very, very interesting technology these days, but you know what? Most people, when they hear about Network 21 and the system, it's a bit like this. They have no idea how it really works. And it's not until you come to some things and you hear about a simple thing like PaceSetter. And earlier today, we had all the new PaceSetters who stood up, and we applauded them. And it's a very simple goal. It's purely introducing 2 new people into your team, doing 200 personal PV. In other words, you're using all the product, you're using the Neutralite, you're using the skincare, you're using the washing powder, you're buying it anyway. Is everybody buying these things anyway? You know what I love about this business? When we go to show someone the business, it's not a really huge decision for them to get a computer number, really, when you think about it. It is a big decision if they want to go emerald or diamond. But initially, it makes common sense for people to register to get a number to buy things at wholesale. Would you agree? With a money-back guarantee and the products are good quality and Neutralite is organically grown and a fantastic history, and I've been using the Artistry skincare now for 27 years. And you've got to smile a lot as well to keep it up, but the Artistry helps too. So, and of course the Asian people always look so much younger. It's not fair. But in Australia we have the sun and, everybody ages much more in Australia. So we use the LX Cream Luxury, and I use every single piece of product that we have that's anti-aging goes on here. Because why not? We want to stay looking young, not just also feeling good. Would you agree, ladies? It costs a bit of money, but it's absolutely worth it, much better than the alternative. So, when it makes a lot of sense when you talk to your friend tomorrow and you say to them, hey, listen, I've got a business I'm setting up. Let me just run through it with you. You give them a bit of an overview. It's so easy to say, look, just get a number, take advantage of what I'm doing anyway, get into the team, get a number, you can buy it wholesale, try some of the products are great, and here's a couple of tickets to the next seminar. Come and find out a little bit about the business. Does that sound easy? So you're not suggesting people do anything they're not already doing, you're really just referring people into the business, and then once they come to the seminars, they decide how big they want to take it. So I think once you realise it's quite a relaxing way, in the early days I used to spend 3 hours explaining the business, all the trips and all this, and you can do that, and I used to terrify the people. They'd go, oh my gosh, where do I sign to get rid of this woman? And then I'd never see them again. They never wanted to see me either, by the way. So, it's so easy just to do PaceSetter. You show a few people the presentation and a couple of them join, you use the products and you register on the CEP. Very, 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 very important to be registered on the continuing education program, because everything we do in Network 21, we record the live seminars. So you will get the latest and most current information. When we have leadership meetings, we also record those, so you can get access to those. And we also have a book program, which is all part of that. So just have a think. Do you think it's possible to say, hey, have a look at this and sign up a couple of people every month? You know, if you read a book that's called The Slight Edge, it's a fantastic book. I'd highly recommend it. There's a new cover. It's actually a white cover. It talks about doing small things over and over again. People often ask, how do you become successful? It's just doing small, simple things over and over again. That's all it is. It's developing a habit of doing small, simple things. And all I did in the first 4 months, I did triple pace setter. I sponsored 6 people a month. And that's why I reached 21% fairly quickly, because if you introduce a lot of people, there'll be a few that want to build the business quickly also. If you do it slowly, it's going to take, a lot more people are just going to join to shop. Does that make sense? So just doing pace setter, if you did that every single month, you would start to go to Leaders Club, then Executive Leaders Club, and then you'll be Platinum and you'll get a free holiday every single year. If you're a Founders Platinum, every single year, Amo will say, congratulations, well done, come on an Achievers trip. That's what Leaders Club looks like. Can I see all the Leaders Clubs? Can all the Leaders Clubs and above please stand in the audience so we can just see you again? All the Leaders Clubs and above. Look around at these people. Wow, congratulations, guys. If they can do it, you can do that. And, to become a Leaders Club, you need to introduce 7 people personally. So that's just doing pace setter a few times. Does that make sense? And from the 7 you introduce, some of them will become active, and you'll notice there at least 5 of them are listening to the CD program. They've decided they want to come on board and get onto the education system, and you'll be doing about 9% volume through your business. Executive Leaders Club is just helping 3 other people do the same. So Network 21 has a complete strategy of how to develop this type of business. We are not just a product selling organisation. We are a leadership search and development organisation. We are looking for people, preferably that are already success orientated. If you've got success in your profession, that is a bonus because you will already have some confidence. You've already probably paid the price to study and to learn how to develop people skills. Or if you're like me and you're a secretary or you didn't go to university, you can do it too. It's an equal opportunity business, and that's what I love about this. Isn't that awesome? Anyone who's got a bit of guts and a bit of determination, who wants to learn the system, do some simple action steps, can end up building a huge business. And that's what I love about it. What is the biggest challenge we have? Is other people's opinions. That's what usually blows people out of the water. So Network 21 has a rhythm of meetings. We have 3 weekend. Do you have 3 the same as in... You have 4. Wow, you even have 4, which is great. In Sydney, in Australia, we have 3 leadership seminars a year. In Singapore, Malaysia, we have 4 a year. So we build our business from weekend to weekend. It's like our report card. And the goal is just to bring more people every time. In between that, you'll notice we have a success seminar or a BBS, which is our monthly seminar, which is what you're at today. And you heard about the one next month. Your goal is to bring more people to the next one. And in between that, we have a business preview where we show the plan. And it's just a matter of, everybody gets used to... Who's done a university course here? I'm sure nearly everybody in the room has been to university, done a course of some sort. You get a curriculum, you have to turn up to lectures, you have to do assignments. What I love about this, you earn as you learn. Very unique. Because most of us, when you go to uni or you go to tech or you learn something, you don't earn, do you? You have to invest because you've got to buy books. Do you agree? Is it the same here, or do you get money to go to uni here? No, I don't think so. So you learn as you earn. So it's a rhythm of meetings, and it makes it easy to focus. So as I mentioned, what really holds people back usually is fear. And what do I mean by fear? Facebook is very, very popular around the world today. I'm sure it's popular in Singapore also. Yes. And do you realise that there's been statistics done, some information found out about Facebook, that some children and teenagers are actually getting depressed, and young adults are getting depressed because they think their friends have a better life than they do? Do you know what I mean by that? They think everybody's got this great life. Oh, I'm going here, or I'm doing this. And it's very, very interesting, I thought, because you only write good things on Facebook, right? Usually. And what I love about our business is when I showed you those slides of those fantastic trips, every single year there will be a trip. Next year, the year after, the year after. It's not my trip. There'll be a trip here in Singapore that any one of you can qualify for. Amway has just released the Growth Incentive Program. Do you call it the GIP here? And SIP. Right, ours has just changed from SIP to GIP. Yours will probably change next year. So it's a growth incentive program, and there's extra cash on the table. So when you reach platinum, besides the monthly money, you'll get the trip, and you'll also get a lump sum cash payment. When you reach the next level, Emerald, you get also a lump sum cash. You need to find out about that. Incredible, this particular growth incentive program. But the challenge is, we often worry about what other people think, and we don't like rejection. Who likes rejection? Anyone? Nobody. What about the singles, the guys? I feel sorry for you. You got to put up with us women. Do we say yes or do we say no? We can crush you with just no. We're not going out with you. Is that true? You need to be, I think, when you're younger, I think you have more resistance. But by the time you get older, you poor guys, you deserve a medal, because it just depends what the situation is. But, no, we don't like to be told no. We don't like to have negatives. And Network 21, for that very reason, has worked out a very professional business appointment approach, so that when you invite people, you don't explain about Amway, you don't explain about Network 21, you don't do that all on the telephone. You purely make an appointment so you can sit down with the husband and wife and show them everything. Does that make sense? I was speaking to a couple the other day, they're business owners, when I was in Cairns in Australia. And this particular couple, he owns pharmacies. You have pharmacies here too. He has 5 pharmacies. And this particular, the wife came to the seminar, and she asked me, well, how do I set this business up? What's the first thing I do? I said, well, we're looking for business partners, but we don't know who the good ones are, who are going to be interested or not. So you need to make a business appointment. She goes, okay. And I said, just give them a ring and just say, look, you've got a new business you're developing, you want to have a chat to them about it. She went, oh, that's easy. That's what we did for our 5 pharmacies. I said, don't try and explain anything on the telephone, because if you do, then you have to explain. Whatever they know about it, you have to then defend. She goes, oh no, with the pharmacy appointment, we didn't talk about a pharmacy. We just said we have a business proposition for you. You see, if you half explain something, people make a decision on what you say. Would you agree? It's in any business. All business is run like this. But when we get into the Amway business, because you don't spend $500,000 for the pharmacy, you just go, oh, I'll say anything. But you can actually earn $1 million plus from this business. So we don't value it the same way. So it's really important, if you're new here today, get together with the person who brought you along to work out the best approach to show your friends. Otherwise, they're going to go, oh, Amway, that's just selling products, isn't it? And then you're going to be trying to justify what it is. And that's what normally holds people back. But we have fantastic CDs to help you make a professional appointment. And we also have a really good owner's manual, Network 21 manual. It goes through the best way to handle questions, and so easy. It's so important to let people experience the business with their own eyes. You don't have to be fantastic at explaining how the business works, how the bonus structure works. Have you ever said this? I don't want to convince anybody. I've had lots of friends we've shown, they go, I don't want to convince people to join something. We're actually not trying to convince people to join something. Do you realise you can't make anybody do anything? Who's worked that out? Are you married? You tried to get your husband to do something. People only do what they want to do. Would you agree with that statement? We cannot convince anyone to do anything. Everybody has their own ideas, their own thoughts, their own experience in life, and they draw from that to come to a conclusion. So as long as we don't start to convince people, you'll do fine. All you have to say is, come along, just check it out, tell me what you think after you've met some of these people. So it's a much more low-key business. That's the good news, isn't it? As soon as you start convincing people, it won't work for you. But if you say, look, I'm not really sure, let's come and check it out, and then people are much more easy to walk with you rather than pushing against you. If I just give you a quick example, can we have our beautiful MC? Oh no, who's a big, strong, strapping, handsome? Any strong, strapping men in the audience? None. Nobody strong. No one wants to come on the stage? This lovely Emerald here, why don't we have this? Come up on stage here. Very simple example. Oh, and he's buttoning up his jacket so he looks extra handsome. So we'll just come here, right in the middle. And what I'd like you to do is really push against my hand. Like, really keep hard. Is that as strong as you can do it? Is that as strong? Okay. Okay, now we'll stop for a minute. That's two people trying to tell the other person how it works. No, it's this way. No, it's that way. No, it's this way. Now push really hard. Keep pushing. He's walking with me because I'm not pushing with him. I'm saying, what happened? You joined Amway 5 years ago. What happened? Oh, that's terrible. Oh, my gosh. Your uncle signed you up and what happened? He just kept talking about it and trying to make you come to seminars. Sell your product, but you never did. Don't worry. But you like to retire young and, well, just come along and see what happens this time. Meet Network, you get people to come along with you. Does that make sense? Thank you, strong, strapping Emerald. Very, very simple example. You see, everyone has in their possession a secret weapon. Even if this is your first meeting today, in your pocket you actually have a secret weapon. You don't even know you have it. It's called a Success Seminar ticket. And you bought one to come into this auditorium today. You can get a group of people round and get your upline to help you. You don't even have to explain it to your friends. It's always easier to have a third person explain it to you. Have you noticed your friends and family don't have as much respect as your work colleagues? Would you agree? Because our sisters and our brothers and our aunties and our cousins, they know you. And even, it doesn't matter what profession you are. My husband, Carl, he's at home in Sweden at the moment, and he rang me and he said he was nervous about speaking at the BBS because he has to speak in Swedish because he built the business in Australia in English, but his native language is Swedish. He wanted to use a translator. They were laughing at him and they said, you're Swedish. Why don't you speak Swedish? He said, but I built the business in English. Anyway, so he went home. I said, don't worry, darling. When you go home, once you speak to your mum and your brother and your sister and all your family in Swedish, everything will come back to you. You were born in Sweden. He's only been in Australia for 12 years or something, so he's Swedish. Anyway, he said to me, it was funny, Angie. He said, as soon as I went home with all my mother and my brother, he said, I went back like I was a little boy. My confidence was more like when I was a young boy. Does that make sense? Because we don't have that power and confidence in our family because we're just the son or the daughter or the brother or the sister or the auntie. So, and I said, don't worry, once you meet the audience, you'll get your power back. Because he was worried about speaking in Swedish, he would be like a young boy. And he did a beautiful job. He told me they loved him and he spoke in Swedish and it was all fantastic. But it's the same when you make a list of people you want to show this business to. Usually when you're new, you want to show your friends and family first so they can see, you're looking for business partners. If you're going to get rich, you might as well have your family and friends get rich too. Because if you show them 5 years later and you become an emerald, they'll say, why didn't you show me? They'll be very annoyed with you that you didn't show them. But it's really important with your close friends and family to have a third person show them because they will listen to that person more because they look at them with more respect. Even though if you're a higher position, the person who introduced you might be, a lower level in your corporation, but they'll listen to him because it's not you. Does that make sense? So, your secret weapon is the BDS, information plus association. Now, what do I mean by that? So many people today get onto the internet and they Google this and they Google this and they Google that and they think they know everything about everything. Why is it that people are not richer, healthier? Every diet is on the internet. Why is it every secret of success, positive books are on the internet? You see, you've got to associate. Look, when I was going for a walk in Sydney, just before I came on this trip, I was walking around a park and I noticed two friends, two girls, and they had a personal trainer. And the personal trainer was standing there like this. And this is what the two friends were doing. You ready? It's very exciting. There was a step. And I'm walking around this huge oval and I thought, they're paying that lady a fee for an hour. And then they did dips. Do we not all know that we should go, sometimes if you go with a buddy, a friend, you're more likely to continue. It's like if you join a gym, if you buy a membership for 10 personal training visits, you're committed because you bought the membership. So when you're lying in bed and you think, oh, I don't feel like going to the gym, oh, I bought that membership for 10 visits, you get up and you go. Would you agree? You see, we have to work with human nature. I repeat, people say to me, Angie, how do you get successful in this? One step at a time. How do you become healthy? How do you lose weight? One step at a time. How do you have a good relationship? One step at a time. Reading a positive book, going out to dinner once a month, keeping the relationship alive. It's one step at a time. How do you destroy a marriage? One step at a time. How do you lose money in business? One step at a time. You just get lazy. It's true, isn't it? There's not a magical success pattern here. It's just one step at a time. And, if you think you have to pay someone to do dips and step up and down, that's why we say get on the continuing education program because the CD will come every month. You've paid for it. You go, oh, I might as well listen to it. I paid for it. Work with human nature. We're all the same. We're all lazy. The only reason we go to work is because we know we'd get the sack if we don't turn up. Is that true? Because we're conditioned. If we are told we have to be somewhere, we will be somewhere. That's why we say, get one of these. This is your insurance policy. If you have any interest at all in having a financial secure future, earning passive income, earning some extra income, maybe some personal development, everybody's different. Before you leave, grab your ticket to the BBS, the Success Seminar next month, and register for this. You have nothing to lose but your future. Do you know that? And just like paying a trainer to step up here. When it comes to next month, you'll look, I bought that ticket. I might as well go because I bought it. I bought that thing to the weekend. All right, let's go. Let's have a weekend. It's in Malaysia, is it? Let's go to Malaysia for the weekend. If we don't enjoy it, at least we've been to Malaysia and had a good time. Sometimes we have to fool ourselves because without the association, we are people. We need to be part of something to grow. Does that make sense? So information plus association is the key. So why do we focus so much on weekend leadership seminar? For that very, very reason. We had a lady in Australia, her name is Ingrid. She joined the business at 60 and she became a diamond 5 years later. She used to be a success coach, a life coach, where she earned $1,000 an hour. Is that a lot of money? And I said to Ingrid, why did you decide she has horses and property, she's got money. I said, why? And her partner, she married her husband just recently, he's not active in the business. And I said to Ingrid, why did you get attracted to this? What was it? Like you were earning $1,000 an hour. She said, Angie, I had to turn up at the airport at 6 o'clock in the morning to meet the corporate executive before he caught his plane to do his 1 hour personal coaching. And I'd have to get up at 4 in the morning, I'd have to be there at 6. She said, even though I was earning good money, I still had to be there. And regardless of the fact that I was a secretary, that was my dream. I didn't care about being rich, I just didn't want to have to be there. So what I love about this is once you set it up, and you've got to put the work in. It doesn't just come overnight, but guess what? You're working anyway. Would you agree? Everybody works so hard. In Singapore, you work very, very hard. I've seen, the culture. Everybody's very conscientious. You work hard. You've got a good life, but you work hard. And what does work hard mean? Hours. Hours and hours and hours at work. True? So the difference is here, once you set it up, the money, whether I'm here talking to you, on the 15th of the month, my bonus still came in Australia. And in all the different countries, the bonuses are still coming in. When I'm in Paris with my husband Carl, the bonuses will be coming in. Who would like to have money coming in, recurring money, whether you're working or not? That's what we promise in this business. If you do the work, it's definitely worth it. So what you need to do is get good at bringing other people along so they can see with their own eyes. What would I rather have? 300 people signed up and no one at the weekend leadership seminar, or no one signed up and 40 people at the weekend leadership seminar? I would choose the 40 at the weekend leadership seminar because out of the 40, about 10 of them will say, yep, this is it, I'm going to make this happen. And what we have duplication. Some of you may have heard the saying, I'd rather 1 hour's time of 100 people's effort than 100 hours of my own. Would you agree to that? And that's what we do in this business. It's a very unique style of business. So that would be my focus. First focus would be how many people can you bring next month? And then how many you can bring to the weekend leadership seminar. So what do you need to do? The statistics are the same for everybody. We've got the manual, we've got the CD program, 20 years of global experience. 20 years, the system, we have looked at all the numbers and statistics. Has anyone played cards? Can I ask a question? How many aces in a deck of cards? 4. Is that the law? Every deck of cards has 4 aces. How many jokers in a deck of cards? Every deck of cards has some jokers. The jokers are the people that laugh at you and say, oh, that doesn't work. Come back to me when you're rich. That's quite interesting because when you are rich, they go, gee, you're lucky. You got in at the right time. So interesting. I've heard that so many times. But if you keep showing the presentation, you will find the ones that are ready to go with you. And this is what the business is. It's purely a numbers game. I would like to challenge you to a 4-week focus. If you're serious and you want to kick this off, just give it a go. Even if you're not serious, even if you're brand new, you just walked in today, you haven't even signed up yet, you're going to sign up tonight, you're going to get your number tonight. You could just say, what the heck, what have I got to lose? Why don't I just focus for the next 4 weeks, set up a couple of in-home meetings, some business launches, ring up some of my friends, say, hey, I went to this seminar, I'm setting up a new business, you're my friends and family, I want you to come over and support me, I want you to meet my business partner. And your business partner, your upline will come, they'll give an overview to your friends, and guess what? Some of them are going to join. Or you can take people to the weekly business preview, or you can actually go to their home and say, hey, Tom and Jenny, are you home? Good, I'm coming over. I want to talk to you about something new I'm setting up. So easy. Do you think you could do that? Here's another question. Do you think you can do this? We have flip charts. Anyone, my daughter could show the presentation. You know, Emily was, once I had the PowerPoint open of the presentation, our daughter, when she's 13 now, she was 10 years old. She said, I said, do you want to see how this works, darling? She goes, okay. And I'm flicking through the presentation, and I went to platinum, and then I went to emerald, and then I went to diamond, and then I showed it very quickly, 5 minutes. She goes, I like that platinum. I said, what do you mean, darling? $40,000, $50,000 a year. Wow, I like that platinum. And I said, what, not diamond, darling? You don't like the diamond? I'm only 10. That's enough. You know, I love how young people look at things very simply. You know what I mean? And yet you can show this to someone who's 25 or 30 and they go, well, I don't know. I have to think about it. You know, is it real? Does it work? You know, so it's very, very interesting. Anyone can show the presentation, but as I said earlier, it's always better if you can get your upline to help you. The statistics, when I first joined the business, 1 in 5 would join. Now it's about 1 in 3, not because I'm better. It's 1 in 3 because there are so many products now, it makes perfect sense for people just to get a computer number to at least join your team. Does that make sense? So why not get a number to save money on Neutralite? I mean, that's worth it to be healthy, to get the artistry. It's definitely worth it. So if you would show a bunch of people, you're going to get, let's say you showed 20 people. You'll get about 6 to 8 that say yes, they'll join you. You'll get 5 to 10 that'll say, I'm not interested, but I wouldn't mind buying some of that product. Does that vitamin really work? Oh, I'll try some salmon omega. And you'll get some that say no, maybe later. Is that about it? So that's as simple as the business goes. Once you've shown 20, I would say keep going. Just keep going. Show more people. Show 60. If you showed between 60 to 100, you'd probably sponsor between 20 and 30 people. And out of that, you'll find 3 to 6 leaders that you can work with. It's a leadership-driven business, and, you know, take advantage of your upline and partner with your upline. There's so many people here in Singapore, Malaysia, and you are part of the Malaysian market also. It's one market, isn't it? So you can introduce people in Singapore and Malaysia, and they all join your Singaporean business. Is that exciting? So you've got a much bigger population than you think that you can actually show this business to. But within your teams, there are people that have got different experience. And you don't have to be the best at everything. Just find out who's good at what, and together everybody wins. That's the acronym for team. Together everybody achieves more. And it works like that in this business. So, can you see that? Frank, can we please stop and ask for directions? Every now and again you will get stuck, and you've just got to learn to ask for directions. And, you know, simple things that I talked about before. Make sure you've got your BBS tickets. Make sure you've got your weekend leadership tickets, your invitation CDs. Book a couple of meetings. You know, there's some very, very basic things that you need to do. Here's a question. What if the first 10 people say no? How would you feel? What if the first 10 people say yes? Who's had people say yes? Were you excited? very cool, come, oh, thank you, welcome to the business. When you got back outside, yeah, they joined. You got excited. And by the time you drove home, they rang you and texted you, we've changed our mind. So then you went, So that's the biggest thing. You need to not worry so much. I know we get emotionally connected to people, and we go up and we go down and we go up and we go down in our emotions. And someone says, yes, I'm excited. Someone says, no, I'm depressed. I'm excited. I'm depressed. You know, occasionally I'll ring someone. I'll go, hello, how are you? Hello. I'll go, what happened? What's everything okay? Oh, I'm just a bit busy at work. I go, right, oh, I don't think I can make it. It's not really the right time for me. And then I ask a few more questions and I find out that their best friend just quit or someone said no. And it's such a shame, you know, because those same people will come back to you later. Does that make sense? You've got to keep going, and the best way to do that is with the CDs, the meetings, the books, and that will help you overcome the motivation, the roller coaster. You know, with motivation, if you're the sort of person that says, I'm not motivated, have you ever had that, oh, I just don't feel like going to the meeting? I don't feel like it. How many times have we said that about going to the gym or about going to work? I don't feel like going. Who said I don't feel like going to work today? You just want to stay home. But do you go? You make yourself go. And then in the act of getting ready to go and on your way to work, all of a sudden, you feel a bit more motivated. Would you agree? It's the same with this business. Sometimes you may not feel like listening to a CD or feel like coming to the meeting, but when you're here, that one idea, that one speaker could change your life forever. And it's just a simple act of going. So don't worry too much about motivation. You will get that as you act. There's a successful habits of people in Network 21, and it's called CORE. And you can find out about these habits in the owner's manual. And you'll notice that each one of those is very, very, very simple to do. Listening to a CD every day, reading a book every day. Just a little bit of a book, not a whole book, 15 minutes of a book, just to keep your mind on track, using the products, coming to the weekly preview, the BDSs, coming to the weekend conferences, developing clients, edification. You can read all about that. But, you know, the top one is the action one. And as I showed you before, it's pretty easy to flick one of these. It's about being in the habit. It's like when you need a trainer to step up, get together with your upline and they'll encourage you to keep going. Hopefully today you have been a little bit inspired about possibilities for you and your life. And when you go to speak to your friend next week and you try and share your excitement, this is what you might be experiencing back. Would you agree? I just want to say to you, remember, whatever someone has experienced in the past is their reality. So if you can say, look, I know how you feel. Why don't you just come with me? I know you're tired. I know you're working long hours. Why don't you just come with me and find out a little bit more about it? And then you can decide. So simple things that you can learn. How does that sound? People skills you will learn from the books. This is probably the most important slide. How you think determines your decisions. Your decisions determine your actions. Your actions determine your results. Your results determine your life. Your life. My whole life has changed because that truck driver invited me to a meeting. My whole world, everything I've experienced. And I know you would, if I could just say, trust me, come with me, give it a go. You know, imagine earning an extra $100, $200, $500, $1 million a year. Imagine having that ongoing income. Imagine what you could do to help your family. Imagine what you could do as a backup income. Imagine what those experiences are like. I can't give you that. You can only experience that yourself. And that's why we say, you know, 10% of people at the top and 90% remain average. Why is that? They think in a different way and are action-orientated. And here in Network 21, we teach people to think about possibilities. At work sometimes you don't get taught to think about possibilities because you need to work for the company. Here we talk about possibilities. And there are so many possibilities. That's our family today, whom I love very much, my husband, and I miss our girls. And I just wanted to finish up by a little story. It's only going to take about 1 more minute. It says 0 time now. And just recently we took our little one and our big one, Jessica, we went and looked at some property. And first house we went to, Emily, who's 13, was going like, oh, I'm bored. Has anyone got teenagers? They give you that look. Because it's not about them, right? And she's looking at the house, bored, bored, bored. Then I said, come on, let's go to this one other house. We really like this house. So we walked in, and this is what happened. She ran to one room. Oh, I love this. I love this. Then she ran to another room. Oh, a movie theatre. Oh, I love this. Then she ran outside. Oh my God, look at the pool and the spa and I love this. I love this. She changed from all of a sudden, and then she went into the master bedroom. Oh, this could be my bedroom. And I said, no. There was a grand piano. It was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Then she sat on the bed, depressed. Why did you show me this? Now I know it exists. It was so precious because I thought about everybody out there. They think Amway's just selling product. They don't know there's a leadership business behind it. They don't know about Network of Caring, that we're the largest charity for World Vision in the world. They don't know that we have that 100% of the donations go to the cause because Jim and Nancy Dornan pay R.D. Saunders $285,000 a year out of their pocket to fund all the expenses for our own charity. They don't know what exists because they haven't seen it. Tonight, today, this afternoon, you've just caught a small glimpse of what is out there. The weekend seminar will show you a much bigger picture. But now you know it exists. Now you know there is a backup income without having to invest a lot of money. There is a global infrastructure that you can tap straight into and someone will help you. And this is the last little story I want to read, and then we're finished for the day. And I thought you would enjoy it. Has anyone got a computer here? Everybody? Okay. Dear tech support, last year I upgraded from boyfriend to husband and noticed a distinct slowdown in overall system performance, particularly in the flower and jewellery applications, which operated flawlessly under boyfriend. In addition, husband uninstalled many other valuable programs, such as romance and personal attention, and then installed undesirable programs such as rugby, football, sailing, and continuous TV. Conversation no longer runs, and house cleaning simply crashes the system. I've tried running nagging to fix these problems, but to no avail. What can I do? Signed, Desperate. Dear Desperate, keep in mind, boyfriend is an entertainment package, while husband is an operating system. Please enter the command HTTP, I thought you loved me, HTML, and try to download Tears. Don't forget to install the Guilt update. If that application works as designed, husband should then automatically run the applications jewellery and flowers. But remember, overuse of the above application can cause husband to default to grumpy silence, garden shed, or beer. Beer is a very bad program that will download the snoring loudly beta. Whatever you do, do not install mother-in-law. It runs a virus in the background that will eventually seize control of all your system resources. Also, do not attempt to reinstall the boyfriend program. These are unsupported applications which will crash husband. In summary, husband is a great system, but it does have limited memory and cannot learn new applications quickly. It also tends to work better running one task at a time. You might consider buying additional software to improve memory and performance. We recommend food and hot lingerie. Good luck, tech support. So, I just wanted to finish on a light note to say Sometimes when we get into this Network 21 system, we go, wow, this is incredible. These CDs are amazing. These books are incredible. Look at my leaders. I met my upline Emerald. I met my upline Platinum. I met my upline Diamond. This is incredible. And after a few years, it becomes a bit like husband. We get so used to it and comfortable. Would you agree? And try and keep the business fresh, because to new people, this is the most incredible business there ever is. Once you get involved with it and you see how it works. And like anything in a relationship, we both have to work on it, husband and wife. Because when Carl first married me, before we got married, he had rose-coloured glasses. Do you know what they are? He used to laugh at everything I say. Sometimes I'd go, what are you doing? He was smelling my hair. I said, are you sniffing my hair? He goes, no. Oh, you smell so lovely, darling. And what I did over a period of time, and I take full responsibility, I think I took those glasses, I put them on the ground and I smashed them with my tongue and my words. Does everybody relate? Because we get comfortable with people and, and sometimes I wish I want to put them back on him, but we're all in a relationship business, and what we want to do here at Network 21, we want to respect each other. We're all different. We want to encourage relationships. We value family, and we just hope and I pray that tonight or this afternoon you've just got a bigger picture of what is possible for you. So whatever age you are, you can have a backup income that's willable to your family. If you're young and single, you can earn double, triple, do whatever you want, pay off all your debts, whatever you want to do. You're with a fantastic group of people here in the front row. They've got big dreams, big goals. There's people here that are on their way to Emerald and Diamond. I believe there may even be a new diamond in Malaysia, but that may be confidential. I'm not sure. Maybe I've let the cat out of the bag, but I know there's some exciting things happening. So take hold of it. I think it's in Malaysia that the person's gone diamond, but it's all part of the one market here in Singapore. So I hope you've got a bit of a glimpse. You can absolutely do this, and it's definitely worth your time. Thank you.
This recording is the exclusive property of Network 21. Duplication is strictly prohibited without the written permission of Network 21. No one can guarantee the techniques and approaches suggested in this CD will work for you. We hope, however, that the ideas presented herein will assist you in developing a strong and profitable business.